The subject of reciprocity came about very organically. It was inspired by a book that we both read by Robin Wall Kimmerer. She talks a lot about it as a way of being, but it evolved from that in an organic way to be about our friendship, about our relationship with each other, with other people, with the planet, with nature, with animals, creatures. And so this exhibition is all-encompassing, but it's an important part of how we all live in this world at the moment.
I love the word serendipity. I think because it's come about so naturally, and I think it's largely because we're looking at micro environments and making them macro and amplifying them. And I think this body of work really talks about the larger and the smaller life forms around us.
I think it's really important that we spend a lot of time looking at the big things in the world. Well, not just us, but everybody does. But I think people are becoming much more observant of those little things in the world that actually add up to create the big things. And without them functioning and working properly, our planet is doing what it's doing now.
And I think this has kind of happened through the many conversations we've had about this exhibition. I think we've spoken about these small things and collected them up into different kind of artworks.
Yeah.
And I think our relationship has been based on that as well, this talking, and it's grown because of this. And our work has grown because of our personal relationship.
Yeah.
There's a kind of fragility in the works that I find really amazing. And for me, it's the fragility of us. And I don't mean us as the human race. I mean us as a collective, with moss, us with the phytoplankton, us with the very things that provide us oxygen. And that us, I think, is what needs to change in society, because it's normally the us as in the human us. And I think our work really projects that idea of us as in the collective.
And this exhibition has had such an amazing response from everybody that's walked in through the door, has said it's been the most incredible body of work that they've seen. It's made them go away really thinking about what it means to them to be reciprocal. And that's a great feeling, that we're making people look at the world differently, and our work in its tiny little way is being able to influence that.
This work is called Ancient Relationship. It's made up of about 350 kilometers of silk thread, but it's also made up of my grandmother's handmade lace and my handmade lace. And there are leather gloves, antique leather gloves in there that I've kind of deconstructed and embedded into the lace work. Just the fact that my grandmother's hands made that lace. And then, you know, how many years later, 30 years later, my hand made that lace. And where it came from in my head, I don't know. But it was an impulse, and it was something that I had to do. And, you know, how I put the pieces together, how it's evolved, it's a relic, an offering, almost a sacrifice.
This is one of my most recent pieces, and it's called Darwin's Blind Spot, which is a term that's been coined recently to look at how Darwin's theory was all about the theory survival of the fittest and the strongest, and adaptability. But what he didn't really look at, I believe, is the mutualistic and symbiotic relationships between organisms that work together in order to survive. So this is a symbolic version of that. And these are mycelium networks and fungi that are growing and sharing nutrients. So I have some of Mandy's silk thread that I wanted to weave in between the strands of the fungi and mycelium networks to represent the sharing of nutrients, water, communication, because they do talk underground. And what's nice to discover is that actually we all need to work together to survive and help each other in a mutualistic way. This piece we've called The Honourable Harvest, and it comes from Robin Wall Kimmerer's book, Braiding Sweetgrass, and it's an indigenous American Indian saying, the honourable harvest, whereby you never take the first of what you find. And if you never take the first, you never take the last. That way you leave more for other people and more to grow. So this table is a sort of symbolic version of that, and we've invited friends, family, visitors, and Mandy and I have both made pieces as well.
And I think that relates back to the reciprocity idea in the micro and the macro, and the coming together of these works is very powerful.